A few weeks ago, Knicks President Leon Rose and Rich Paul with Klutch Sports met in New York City to have a significant meeting where they cleared the air and worked out any lingering issues they had. And according to Knicks legend Carmelo Anthony, that meeting was significant for the Knicks in a number of ways. Not only that, Melo went as far as to praise Leon Rose for how he's rebuilt this Knicks roster, basically from laughingstock to contender. We're going to break down exactly what Melo said and so much more today. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button now and make sure you have notifications turned on so you don't miss a second of the new content. And now, let's get started. Carmelo Anthony heavily praises Leon Rose, not only for the meeting he had with Rich Paul, but also for the way he's rebuilt this New York Knicks team. Before we get to the Knicks part, let's go to what Melo said exactly about this meeting between Leon Rose and Rich Paul and why it was so significant for the New York Knicks moving forward as they try to add talent to this roster in the offseason. Roll the clip.
Relationships are important, right? Because to your point, like that was the best relationship at one point in time. And then it get completely fucked up, dismantled. So this is years and years and years and years of people having to pick sides and I can't talk to this person. I got, like, you know what I mean? Like, because everybody's in the same circle. So now, to his point, to patch that energy up and come to peace and we men now and we gonna figure this out.
Hov and Nas.
I love it.
Come on, you have to, because no matter what, you need New York. You
100%.
need New York. You can't go around New York. You could try to, but you gotta come back here, especially when you in certain industries. When you in music, you gotta come. When you in fucking sports, you gotta come to New York.
Come on.
Yeah.
So if you don't have no relationship with the Knicks, you ain't got that no relationship around. Your relationship game ain't strong around the NBA.
Right.
So I'm happy that's
big.
honorable that those parties that that came together and settled that difference, because everybody is going to benefit everybody in the industry.
As a future Hall of Famer, how does that impact, you know what I mean? Like negotiations, contracts.
It was.
Does it make it easier or does it make it harder? Because it's like, yo, we cool.
No, it's no cool shit in business. It's no cool shit in business.
Got you.
Because there's no
put that on a shirt.
There's no loyalty in sports. So we can't be cool. This is business. This is, I'm going to help you if you help me type of shit. I'm only going to help you if you're going to help me, right? So we talking about in the trade situation. This is why we wait until 30 minutes before the deadline and everybody start making trades, because I don't want to help you at the beginning of negotiation, we negotiate.
Right.
But when it comes down to, do you really want to fuck with me? Do we really want to build this rapport for, it might be other shit that down the line that we got to work with. Players, trades. So do we want to start this connection?
That was a powerful message coming from Carmelo Anthony. And when we talk about it on this channel, we all can say what's significant. We can say, oh, Leon Rose and Rich Paul met, they cleared the air. It has to be significant. It has to matter. But when you hear it from somebody who's in the know, somebody like Carmelo Anthony, who knows both sides, has dealt with both sides, and is speaking out about it like this, stating, not only is it significant, but it's also helpful when it comes to players, contracts, negotiations, and trades. That's all I need to hear, because that tells me that meeting cleared the air for so many things that the New York Knicks can do now, because not only can they have an access to a whole new talent pool that maybe they didn't have access to last year, but now, let's say if that player in that particular agency says, I like New York and this other place, instead of Rich Paul and Klutch Sports pushing that particular player to the other place and not New York, now they'll say, you know what? New York has this to offer. This place has this to offer. So now the option becomes even more realistic. While the Knicks still target CAA players, and those are the guys that the New York Knicks normally go after, given who Leon Rose is and where he came from before he took that Knicks president job. However, just because that's the case doesn't mean he only wants to look at players from that talent pool. That's why WME Sports, where Julius Randle and RJ Barrett were, that's exactly why the New York Knicks looked at them, because they don't want to go ahead and seclude themselves with only CAA players, because they know if you do that, they're going to rub people the wrong way. And if they rub people the wrong way and they send out that message that they're only going to go after CAA players and not any other players, not any other talent, then it's going to make other talent from other agencies not even think about the Knicks, not consider the Knicks, and not even think about them as a destination worth talking about. And as a New York Knicks franchise that's rebuilding in the right direction, that's adding the right pieces, that's looking like a contender this year with the assets necessary to make a major splash this offseason, you don't want to turn off any channels at all. So with Melo saying here that this meeting between Leon and Rich was not only significant, but it opens up things more in negotiations, contracts, and trades, that is music to my ears. There are a number of players in Klutch that I think would be so good for the New York Knicks if they could get them for a fair deal and a right contract. Last year, those guys were off the table. You couldn't really have them on the table. Even if they wanted to become a New York Knicks player, maybe the contract that Rich Paul would have worked out for him would have not been something the New York Knicks would have been capable or okay with giving him because it would have just been too high. And the reason that may happen was maybe based off of ill feelings that were still in the air. Ill feelings that should not be in the air any longer, given that the meeting happened. And according to many NBA insiders at the time, they stated that meeting was positive and everybody came out of it thinking that the Knicks and Rich Paul were turning the page and we're going to move forward in a good, positive direction with a good relationship. If that's the case, that means everything's on the table. All talent that wasn't on the table before are on the table now. And if that's the case, the Knicks have way more options. And come this offseason, they're going to have a decision to make. I have all of these first round picks. I have these players I can move if I want to move them. I have Bojan Bogdanovic, who's basically a star. Some people might call him an all-star. He's a great shooter. He's on a partially guaranteed deal that the Knicks can pick up and likely will pick up. And if they do that, it opens up the possibilities even more in regards to a trade they can possibly make. I'm not saying they could trade him. I'm just saying it gives them the possibility to do that. And now they have way more talent open to them than they had last year. That's a win for the Knicks. And of course, a win for Leon Rose. But if you thought Melo was done there with the praise for Leon Rose, you would be absolutely wrong. Check out this quote from Melo regarding Leon Rose and how he's helped rebuild the Knicks. He said this on his podcast, 7 p.m. in Brooklyn. The plan is still in play from when Leon Rose got the job. He told everybody, this is a 4 or 5 year plan. If y'all believe in this plan, y'all gonna be happy at the end. But if y'all don't, y'all gonna hate me every step of the way because I'm not gonna make the decision y'all want me to make. I'm gonna make the decision that's smart, that puts us in position. I think I speak for many Knicks fans when I say Leon Rose in the front office, a lot of fans were frustrated with him because I get they were being patient. I understand that approach, but I felt at times they were being way too patient. They did not go after some players they could have gone after, Donovan Mitchell being the number one player on my list, but maybe the possibility, the road to Donovan might still be out there. And if that's the case, I have no complaints. And given what's happened this season, given what Leon Rose has done this trade season, adding Bojan Bogdanovic, Alec Burks, OG Anunoby, Precious Achiuwa, who's basically the steal of this NBA trade season, doing all of that without giving up any of your first-round picks and keeping all of those protected first-round picks that you own from other teams and basically setting up the Knicks to be a contender this season, next season, if they do nothing. And if they make a move, they could potentially be a contender for the NBA Finals each and every season, depending on the move that they make. They are also creating stars in the process. I know a lot of people don't want to say it. I made a video about it already, and I'm saying it. I'm already on that train. Dante DiVincenzo is turning into a star right before our eyes. We are seeing it game in and game out. He's turning into a star. Leon Rose signed them this offseason. Check. Jalen Brunson, all-star, knocking on the door of superstardom. Absolute home run. Check. Julius Randle, 3-time All-Star only with the New York Knicks. He's a star. Check. The Knicks are creating the stars that they need. They're filling the gaps that way. The other way to fill the gap is to go out there and get the star you absolutely know you need. We don't know who that player is yet because we don't know all the players who are going to be available come this offseason. But we have an idea. We definitely have an idea. Spider Mitchell, he might be one of them. And I've already told you guys where I stand about that. Depending on the players available, I might want to go all in on Spider because I believe a backcourt of Jalen and Spider Mitchell with OG as your wing not only works, but dominates. It's deadly. It slays. But if you want to go a different direction, there's a team in the West right now that I know if they don't do what they need to do again this year, especially if they're fully healthy, Phoenix, then there might be some players that look elsewhere. Maybe one of those players is Devin Booker. He's CAA. Let's remember that as well, too. And the Kentucky connection is strong, too. Then maybe, just maybe, Booker is another name to look at this offseason. All I'm saying is, right now, the Knicks have options. Come this offseason, the Knicks have more options. But who do we give that praise to? Who do we thank for that? In my opinion, and clearly in Carmelo Anthony's opinion, it's Leon Rose. And it's really hard to disagree with it. Look at where we are right now. Look at the position that we're in. Look at the team that we have. And look at where we are in the Eastern Conference right now. Look how much praise this Knicks team is getting, how much media coverage this Knicks team is getting from everywhere. We are changing what it means to be a New York Knick, what it means to be a fan of this franchise, and what it means to represent and wear that orange and blue. I said it at the top of the show. Leon has turned this Knicks roster from a laughingstock to a legit contender, and nobody can tell me anything different. But what about you guys? What do you think about Carmelo Anthony's comments about how Leon Rose has helped rebuild this Knicks team? And also, what do you think about the significance of what he said the meeting between Leon Rose and Rich Paul means for the Knicks moving forward? Let me know in the comments below, guys, because honestly, I would love to hear from you. But that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, go ahead and smash that like button, leave a comment below. And of course, guys, please subscribe to the channel. Until next time, Knick fans. Peace.